So Peter, I'm going to answer your questions. So the first question is about one text that was written on Facebook. And the text was, today is a good day to drop all mundane investments and completely embrace your spiritual awakening journey. Today is your day. No more delays. May this sentence be yours today. May you find the strength and wisdom to make this ultimate decision, surrendering yourself completely to the source. And the question was, what does this mean practically and actually? Well, this means practically and actually that it is time to drop all these postponing and all these things and to rise upon the call that is in the heart, mm, and and make it for real. You see, there's always some delays, some um, how do you say this? Some valid situations that justify this postponing. See, and hard, hard decisions they are a need, and because if you're not focused, completely focused, things don't happen. You see, it stays at the superficial level. So all questions, everything that surrounds the quest for truth has to be intensely followed with a focus and concentration and with determination. Without it, means nothing. Second text, it was like this. I like this one. The biggest obstacle for truth seekers currently is the lack of sincerity in their spiritual path. The majority finds themselves weakened by their worldly aspirations, and instead of assuming their weaknesses, they mask them with convenient spiritual teachings interpretations, using spiritual wisdom to maintain their own illusion, keeping their real interests the maintenance of worldly aspirations, with a huge potential, with a real call in their heart, shrink in the presence of their own fragility. May honesty illuminate your mind and courage awaken in your heart. So his question again was, what do you mean when you say instead of assuming their weaknesses? It's simple. You see, wisdom comes in different contexts, and it is used in different ways. And the majority these days is using wisdom to mask their fragilities. So going around this, going after that, it's no problem because I'm not the body, so there's nothing to be done to that. And by allowing this to mask the weaknesses because they are not able to be by themselves, they are not able to drop a lot of things, and they are going uh, to spirituality for the realization of worldly goals, worldly happiness, a worldly better life. And they are mixing their things. So if this is a seeker of truth, so the best thing that he has to do is to um, assume the weaknesses are there, the dependencies, to see what they are and start working on them concretely instead of masking them. Sorry, so you said not sure how the word assuming is being used. Well, assuming is like being honest about their weaknesses. Sorry, my English is not that good, like I said before. So probably maybe this word is not the best one to use here. But what it means is instead of being honest about weaknesses, instead of masking the weaknesses, I'm not sure. It is masking the weaknesses instead of uh, taking them for what they really are. Maybe this is better. and using spiritual wisdom to maintain their own illusion. So, for some situations, like I've seen here and explained in certain answers, in some situations the highest wisdom applies, nothing to be done. But when it comes close to what you're dependent on, to what you're clinging to, aspiring to, desiring to, then other wisdom comes to allow you to continue those quests and masking this as spiritual undertaking. And this is just self delusion, and it will just bring pain, emptiness along the way. And even that is a blessing. Even that is a blessing. And these worldly aspirations are actually weaknesses. And if I have time today, I will talk about this a little bit further. This self-sufficiency, which is a prerequisite. Maybe this word also. It is a must to be self-sufficient, at least in a good extent, because or else you'll just be dragged and dragged and dragged and not being able to sustain yourself in stillness. And for this, a lot of pain has to be released from within. Self sufficiency, we'll go to that later, maybe. So this question is over. So, in the first sentence, to make a decision uh, about a sincere, intense uh, quest for truth, non-stop, 24/7, without any excuses, without protecting anything. This is a need, because if you don't make this decision and keep it, you'll be distracted over and over and over and over and over and over. And one name of the game is focus or be distracted. Being distracted, your time is wasted. If you're focused, your everything is a game.